Hello everybody. Today I'm going to go over how to add COTS or common off-the-shelf parts to the FRC1781 library. So we've got our main project, FRC1781, and inside that there is a folder called COTS. The COTS are all of our common off-the-shelf parts from our standard suppliers. To begin, we're having AndyMark, McMaster, Rev Robotics, and Vex. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with AndyMark. For each of the different suppliers that we have, there are subfolders, and those subfolders are set up in general to match the categories as defined by the supplier on their web page. So if we go ahead and we open up the AndyMark web page, we can see up at the top, if we hover over, say, mechanical, we've got building materials, gearboxes, hardware, motion, pneumatics, wheels, and similarly, inside of our Fusion 360 project folder under COTS AndyMark, we have building materials, gearboxes, hardware, motion. And so each of these folders will house parts that come from that section of the AndyMark website. Granted, some of it may change at some point, and there's always different different categories that may or may not match, but this at least helps us begin to organize our the parts and so on. So in this case, I'm going to demonstrate the high grip wheels. So I've gone to mechanical. I could drop down to wheels, and in this case, go to high grip, and that's going to pull up my general high grip wheels. And here I've got a couple different options. In this case, the 4-inch, say, high grip durometer wheel, or over here I may have the high grip wheels kind of generalized. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the generalized wheels, and then if I scroll down, there's going to be a number of options for the documentation. They have layout and prints, and then they have their CAD files. You'll notice that this page in particular has multiple types of durometers and different diameters. But in this case, when we scroll down, we don't see all of the options for those different wheels down here. So we can go to see all our guide drawings and CAD files here, and then that launches the AndyMark page for that. Click into the step files, and here is a very large list of all of their parts and part numbers with step files. Here, I'm going to go ahead and hit Control F to pull up my browser finder. And then in this case, I'm going to type high grip. And then I'll have some options as I step through. So I've got my 6-inch wheels, A and B for 940. Then I've got the different versions here. And I can basically look through each of the different options. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and do the 4-inch high grip wheel. So I'm going to click on that link. It's going to open up and ask me where I want to download it. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and download to my downloads folder. It says .step or step file, which is kind of a generic CAD file. That's what I want. I'll click save here. All right. So now, once it's downloaded, I'm going to go ahead and show it in my folder. So here I've got the file, and now I want to go back to Fusion. And in this case, I'll go into AndyMark. This is a wheel, so I'm going to go into the wheels folder. And here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload the file. So I click upload. Then I'll click select files. In this case, I will navigate to my downloads folder, but you can navigate to whatever folder or whatever location you downloaded the file to. Select my file, click open. Once it's there, I'm going to go ahead and click upload. and that's going to launch the upload process for this part. Little status bar. If you close this, you can still monitor the upload status down in the lower left-hand corner here. And then once it's done, the little wheel will stop spinning, and then it should appear with a little icon showing you the file up here. So once I've uploaded, I'm not quite done. I'm going to want to provide some additional information inside of this part file. So let me go ahead and open up this component. And now if I go down to the lower left, I'm going to expand my comments. And in this case, what we really want to do is we want to give a link to the part as far as where to find it. Because this is a library of common off-the-shelf parts, we always want to be able to reference where you can find this. So here we're going to use the comments bar. I'm going to go back to my AndyMark page with the high grip wheels. I'm going to go ahead and click on the link up top. And actually I might refresh this and then click on the link, hit Control-C to copy. Now I'll go back into Fusion 360. I'm going to put say product page. And paste the link and say post. And what that does is it puts the link down here. So in case I want to see where we got this and cost and all of that kind of stuff, then in the future I can just open up the file, go down to the comments, click on that, and it's going to launch the product page. Now the second thing that I'm going to do is that I know that there is a layout print drawing for this here. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on this link, say copy link address. I'm going to go back to my Fusion 360, go to the comments again, and I'm going to type drawing, and then colon, and then paste that link, and then click post. And so now there's also a link to the drawing. If I click on that, it's going to go ahead and launch AndyMark's drawing file. And that way I can see some of the dimensions rather than measuring them all myself with the CAD file. One note, you might want to be careful because sometimes they don't totally match depending on the supplier and versions of products and so on. So you've always got to be a little bit careful about that. But overall, at least this gives you a good starting point to be able to map out the components, and then we'll have them in our library, and we can always pull from these and have a general catalog of all of the parts that we use in our designs when we're CADing the rest of the robot. And I'll minimize my comments, and anytime I could always go into the COT and then scroll down and pull up that information. All right, after I've done that, I'll go ahead and I'll hit close and close. That's it. Have a great day.